The next weapon that we're going to train with is a Naginata. The Naginata is more of a battlefield weapon, and it's made up of an oval long pole like a bow and having a long blade on the top like a sword or a curved sword. And to really learn this weapon, it's like combining 3 different weapons into one weapon. It's like training with a bow and a sword and the aspects even of a yari, and you should really learn those first before training with the Naginata. Just because of its movement, and usually the Naginata was used in a time in history when one would carry long sword, the tachi, and full armor, so some of the kamais, which we're going to start with, like Hasso no Kamai, would be put in a form of where I have padding on my shoulder, padding on my legs, so I'm in a position to where I'm most protected and kind of hiding somewhat behind this armor. So the first is Hasso no Kamai. Okay, Hasso no Kamai. We're going to look at some ways of cutting from Hasso no Kamai. Hasso. Notice the angling where it's not straight here, it's a little diagonal. One of the reasons is the footwork. I can actually come in and do a strike with the end of this to a person's foot, to where this blade slowly comes up as I'm stepping across, cutting up. Done, or it can be done in where I'm actually striking, moving a sword out of the way, cutting up this person. As you see, there's some really dynamic ways of moving with a Naginata and cutting, and there's whole tapes on this, and I really recommend Grandmaster Hatsumi's tapes on the Naginata and Bisanto Nakamaki. And so I'm going to show you just a couple more ideas from each of the different postures or stances, if you will. And you have to remember and also practice these possibly with swords, because if swords are sticking out, you wouldn't want to have it higher or lower. You'd have it maybe below the sword or resting on top of the sword, depending on whether it was a tachi that's worn at the side, which you would if you had armor, or if you had katana on your body. So you'll understand the positioning of these and the striking better with that. An idea from Nakasegan would be to maybe even parry a sword, step and actually strike against the head or helmet, maybe even just popping into the helmet itself, maybe cutting up the body of the person, coming back, cutting whatever way. Just think about this moving, just look a little bit of the action of the Naginata, and as it actually is traveling, maybe even through other kamai as I'm moving, so you through each of these positionings.